experts estimated the theft's value at $500 million. A few days after the robbery, the police found the thieves murdered. Who killed them, and who was the mastermind behind the theft? This is what we will uncover by the end of the video. In March 1990, at the Isabella Gardner Museum, during the night shift, there were two guards on duty. The first was named Richard and the second Randy. At that time, the security system consisted of surveillance cameras only. While the two guards were sitting in front of the cameras, precisely at midnight, a fire alarm went off. Randy went to check the alarm but found no fire or anything unusual, so he returned to the surveillance room with Richard. At 12:20 a.m., the fire alarm went off again. This time, Richard checked the museum but also found nothing. He returned to the surveillance room again. Then, something unusual happened. Two police officers knocked on the museum's outer door. Richard spoke to them from behind the door, and they told him that the police had received a call from the museum's neighbors about two fire alarms. Richard explained that the alarms were false. However, the police officers insisted on entering. Despite the rule that the museum's door should not be opened at night, Richard unlocked the door and let them in. Once inside and with the door closed behind them, they attacked Richard and handcuffed him. They then moved to Randy in the surveillance room and restrained him as well. The intruders placed both guards in a room in the museum's basement. The thieves proceeded to the area where the paintings were displayed and stole 13 of the most valuable and beautiful artworks. These paintings were valued at $500 million. Within 10 minutes, they had left the museum and closed the door behind them. In the morning, during the guard shift change, the new guards knocked on the museum door, but Richard and Randy did not open it. The guards continued knocking for 5 continuous minutes without any response. Growing concerned, the guards notified the police. When the police arrived, they broke down the door. Upon entering, they realized the museum had been robbed from the chaos inside. During their search for the guards, they found them handcuffed in the museum's basement. Given the extremely high value of the stolen paintings, the FBI took over the case. During the investigation, Richard, known for his drinking habits, particularly on St. Patrick's Day, was questioned. Surprisingly, Richard was sober that day and had been the one to open the door for the thieves. However, he provided no useful information to the FBI. There were other puzzling aspects as well. The thieves only stole the most valuable paintings, indicating they knew their locations beforehand. Richard's colleague, Randy, assisted the FBI by describing the thieves' features. The FBI suspected Richard might be involved in the theft, but there was no evidence against him. A few days later, despite the FBI announcing a $1 million reward for anyone recognizing the thieves' images, someone called the police claiming to know them well, but they had disappeared since the day of the museum robbery. When the police and FBI went to the thieves' homes to arrest them, they found them murdered. The FBI then confirmed that a third person had orchestrated the robbery from afar, subsequently killing the thieves to close the case and prevent the police from reaching him. The case remained unsolved until 1997, 7 years after the robbery. The museum and the FBI raised the reward to $5 million for anyone who could help find the mastermind behind the theft. During that period, a journalist specializing in art named Anthony received a call from someone named Youngworth, requesting to meet at a specific location. At the meeting, Youngworth asked him to follow him to an abandoned apartment. There, Youngworth pulled out one of the stolen paintings and showed it to the journalist. With his expertise, Anthony immediately recognized it as one of the stolen pieces from the museum. Youngworth asked the journalist to relay a message to the police and the FBI. If they wanted to recover the stolen items, they had to pay $5 million and release another person named Kohler. Upon checking, they found that Kohler was imprisoned for stealing paintings and artifacts, but he had been in jail at the time of the museum robbery and remained there. 3 years later, Kohler and Youngworth were released from prison, and to this day, none of the stolen paintings or artifacts have been recovered. The empty spaces where the paintings once hung remain as they are in the museum. As for Kohler and Youngworth, their whereabouts remain unknown to this day. It is likely that they sold the paintings to art lovers who appreciate such pieces. And with that, I've concluded this video about the largest art heist valued at $500 million. If you enjoyed the video, we'd love to reach 100 likes and our first 100 subscribers. See you in the next video. Bye.